Hello, and welcome to another Magic the Gathering Arena video, where this time we're going to be looking at a Brawl deck, the final one of our monocoloured cycle, which appeals very specifically to a certain demographic. Now, Ajani, Strength of the Pride, is the commander, and he's one of the few options that you have if you want to go for a life gain strategy. I'd say Heliod is probably the best. The Indestructible makes him harder to remove, and being at 3 mana can drop quite early and turns pretty much everything into Pride Mates. It does play quite similarly, honestly, to my white-black Sorin deck, since it's essentially the same deck. We're built around our creatures that can get bigger with life gain, like Ajani's Pride Mate being the main one, Gideon's Company, Gideon's Pride Mate. Gideon's got a Pride now, apparently. Twin Blade Paladin, Heliod, obviously, an Angel of Vitality to a minor extent. But then Daxos is another option. Gains life whenever creatures enter or leave the battlefield or die. And then Ajani, who I'm using today, who I think has his own niche spot. Being able to create Pride Mate tokens is great. It allows you to just keep generating more and more of them, which can eventually go around the issue that Pride Mate usually encounters, which is a single Pride Mate is really, really big, but doesn't have any way of pushing through. So throw in a little bit of extra Pride Mates by creating tokens of them, and you'll eventually get a board wide enough that some of them are going to get through. And Ajani also has the added bonus, where his ultimate, if you have at least 15 more life than your starting life total, you can exile him and get rid of all of the creatures and artifacts on the opponent's side of the field. So you can just absolutely clear the board and have your open attack with your Ajani's Pride Mates you've made. So Ajani's the one I want to try there, and I do say this now, that the name for this deck is definitely one of the weaker ones. It was made as a bit of an in-joke when I believe it was my Siona Captain of the Pyleus deck was released. Somebody jokingly said, "Oh, it's got a woman on the front. It's clickbait." And, well, let's just say that Ajani's pretty ripped. And let's leave it at that. So, the deck's pretty straightforward. We've got quite a few 1-mana lifelinkers and ways of gaining life on the cheap. Hunted Witness being not necessarily a lifelinker on the turn it comes down, but is still a good option there, so that we have a good chance of, on turn 2, if we have a Pride Mate, being able to grow it. Alseid also works really well, just as protection in general. I shouldn't have to comment on how good Alseid is. Beloved Princess and Healer's Hawk are both decent as well, since they both have some level of evasion. Beloved Princess isn't the best, but it's better than nothing, and we can then use that to essentially get some life in later board states when bigger creatures have come down, hopefully. And we then have our main plan being to grow Ajani as big as possible. So we've got our utility cards that will gain life, some better than others, and are then... and things like battlefield promotion, just little ways to gain a little bit of advantage whilst also gaining life. And Dawn of Hope obviously goes in for additional card draw and more token generation. The plan is to hopefully be able to overwhelm our opponent with our really, really big Pride Mates that just keep growing and growing. And hopefully, with any luck, we'll be able to use our ultimate and just clear the opponent's board and just charge straight in. One card of note that isn't in here, that could probably have gone in, but I decided against, was Divine Visitation. Since it usually works really well in a lot of white decks, especially with Dawn of Hope, if that's your game plan, since, hey, you're making tokens, you want to make them into bigger angel tokens. However, it's a bit of a downside with Ajani, because of the fact that our tokens will become bigger than the angels, so we're only really getting the Flying and Vigilance, which are both good, and potentially better than a single one, but the minus being used on Ajani being like the primary way of generating tokens. Like, there's a few extra ways. I think Omen of the Sun does it, and that's and that's mainly because that also gives us a little bit of life, gives it a bit of scry, and we've got a little bit of an enchantment sub-theme in here, since most of our removal is enchantment-based. I think mostly for Archon of Sun's Grace, so that we're able to get those life-linking Pegasus to swing in even more, with even more wideness. And yeah, once again, that's another card that just doesn't play nicely with Divine Visitation, since Archon only gives them Pegasus lifelink. By having them become angels, they no longer have lifelink, so we're not going to be gaining the life off of it that way. So it's a pretty straightforward game plan. I do still think that my black-white one is better, but at the same time, there is some advantages to playing mono-white. Like, for example, Linden is a much easier card to play. We aren't having to play any tap lands, so we're able to take advantage of this with our early plays a lot more effectively. So yeah, downsides, upsides. However, with that in mind, let's get into some games. Alright, opening up with Croxer. Okay, that seems pretty decent. I mean, we've got a Hunted Witness right off the bat, Signet, and then it means we can get Pridemate down pretty shortly after that. Strength of the Pride, who then makes Pridemates. Slight difference. Ooh, and that Gideon's also somewhat tempting. Probably going to have to discard something. And I expect that something is probably going to be... good question. Archon? Okay, they're not playing Croxer. I could Twin Blade. What do you do? Discard a card, draw a card. Okay. We'll straight away just kick off with an Ajani.
Pure soul can inspire others.
No point attacking. I mean, I guess it gets me my lifelinker, but I'd rather not. They could still have something like Ritual of Soot. Oh no, they murdered my Pridemate. How rude. Yeah, I'm fine with that. This gives me my lifelinker. It's another land. I might actually keep that to discard. Now they've got Artifact Destruction in red-black, so it's safer to do this. We can minus like so. Drop Twin Blade. Swing for one, and they both grow. And now the train starts rolling. The furries are here, and they're not going away. Because Twin Blade Paladin is slightly scarier, yes, that is true. Well, there's a good finisher. I would really like one more land.
Let me lead the charge into darkness.
Okay, they've called it quits. Probably understandable. They probably should have dropped Croxer earlier to at least disrupt my hand slightly. But, oh well. On to the next one. Well, Reese has turned up again. Well, that's another Arcane Signet, and this time with a Soul Mender, so that's just straight away going to let me start growing things. Or alternatively trade into Reese if they attack. Actually, is that worth it? It might just be. Okay, now the important question here. Arcane Signet or Impassioned Orator? I think Arcane Signet. So yeah, they're not attacking with Reese. They're probably going to start... Ooh, that's a Brontodon. That can blow up the Signet. That's gonna be a problem. That's doubly gonna be a problem. Because now they've also got an answer for Elswith Conquers Death. Okay. It's going to be Charming Prince in the Scry. That's a land. Pacifism currently isn't that useful. The Brontodon's safe to attack at the moment. I might actually have to get rid of that with Elspeth at the moment. Reese and Leafkin aren't targetable with it. And that's... But then again, I play it, and if they've got the mana, then they'll just blow it up in response. So yeah, presumably they attack with that. No blocks. Take the damage, heal up. Alright, third land. So I think Gideon, and then I can give Vigilance to the Charming Prince. That being said, they've got...
This is a prime day for justice.
They've got quite a bit of mana open, so...
I will lend you my strength.
I think I'm just going to play it safe and not attack. They could... actually, it's probably Reese they're thinking of activating. Yeah, that was... Yeah, I probably could have given him Vigilance and attacked, but... Ah well. If they attack Brontodon, I will block with the Prince. And that is a henge. Ah. There's... They can start generating a fair bit of... Is it non-token or creature? Okay, it is non-token. Actually, is it worth blocking at the moment? They can make another token, so they could kill... Get another land. I think I'll risk it. If they got a buff and they can make Brontodon bigger and kill Gideon, then it's a massive mistake on my part, but yeah.
I could take it.
And there's a land. That's what I need. I've got to use Soulmender.
True friends always stand by your side.
You gain lifelink. Hooray.
Your light will cleave the darkness.
Let's start pushing some damage through. No blocks. That's good. Now they are going to start being able to generating a lot of tokens. So I think next turn, Orator plus Ajani, Gift. Ah, they can blow up Gift with Brontodon at the moment. Okay, well that's a big Brontodon. I'm gonna have to jump with the Soulmender, I guess. On the plus side, it's now less appealing for them to blow up the Brontodon. I could... I think I'm going to do this. Actually, I'm not going to plus, I'm going to minus. And that orator triggers.
Share in my light.
Daxos is going to be good. Yeah. Nah, we'll have him as a trump blocker. He's not got lifelink this time, so there's no need. You have to double the number of counters. Double the number of creatures, sorry. Both of these grow. A land would be great. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that came from nowhere. But I don't think I'm actually dead. Am I? 8:15. No, I'm not actually dead. My planeswalkers are. It gives them trample as well. Yeah. So it's going to create another human soldier token. Right. So I'll block and kill one of them because I can. Everything else is pretty dead. Okay, and well, it's technically cheaper to cast, but I guess, actually, I drop Daxos. Nah, I should have played the Prison Realm to get rid of the Thrashing Brontodon while I could. However, these are getting pretty beefy. And Naxos can currently champ block the Thrashing Brontodon. Oh yeah, they've still got the mana with the Leafkin Druid. They could have blown up the Angelic Gift. Yep, and they can do that. If they've got a Flourish, this is going to be pretty painful. Okay, I can cope with an Aketra-ish. That is worse. Yeah, their board's getting out of hand now. I hope I have at least one board wipe in here. 1 white mana. Righteousness? I'm somewhat suspicious of a trap, so I'm going to block with these and leave that alive. Because then if they do kill something with this... But yeah. They do still have the 1 mana for Thrashing Brontodon. Okay. What do I Prison Realm? If I Prison Realm the Brontodon, they immediately blow up the gift. Endrays, I guess, or a Ketra. Get rid of Endrays. Okay, that's the 6th mana I need for Ajani. Bring down a Linden. Gain some more life. Get our things even bigger. Now I want to attack with as much as possible. So that's 3... throw in the Mystic as well. Going all in. Nah, I probably shouldn't have attacked with those and just gone with the Plied Mates. But I do want them to be pretty big, so that if they do decide to blow up the Angelic Gift, they're not in a too strong a position. And I think it actually might put it up to lethal range. So it forces them to sacrifice the Brontodon. I mean, I guess Lifelink actually... No, they attacked with all the Lifelinkers. Yeah, there we go. Got rid of the Brontodon. Now, unfortunately, this does mean that I'm lacking a solid win con, though. If I get enough life, I can win with Ajani. Alright, some more life. Although, yeah, they can double creatures with Reese, and they generate tokens with a Ketra, so... Punching through is going to be really hard now unless... Yeah, I need to be able to get rid of Reese. And that can get rid of my Pride Mates. Yeah, I need a win con at this point. I need a way to push through. Card generation is getting insane as well. So they're constantly going to be able to refuel and outvalue me. Elspeth could get rid of Beast Whisperer, so they're at least drawing fewer cards. They're not going to be able to double counters, but they can currently just tap these down. If I do... I need to get how much life... So, 15 life more than my starting. So, 25, so 40. I need 40 life, which means I need to gain 13. It's 3, 4, 5 attacks. I could bring back Gideon. Okay, I think... do this, get rid of Beast Whisperer or Ketra. Ketra's going to keep generating those. It's really awkward, but I do think I need to Elspeth's here. Now the next question is, what's the target? I think it is Beast Whisperer. Attack with 1. 4, 8, 12. 16. Okay, yeah, let's attack with 1. In fact, yeah, that's how I can win. If I can get Ajani... if I can get my Elspeth Conqueror's Death to ult and bring back Gideon, I can give one of these lifelink, and then that will give me the life I need. Losing that Signet at the start hurts so much. And there's a Thorn Mammoth. It can start killing all my other creatures. Goodbye, Linden. Goodbye, Orator. And this might be the lethal swing. Let's see here. Oh yeah, that's game. They blow up the prison realm. The End-Race Forerunners comes back, and then I die. Well played, sir. And then they can tap everything because it's got vigilance. That's brilliant. Oh, how big is this champion going to be? 22-22. Well, I guess I block it out of principle. Can't even be mad about that. And now we get to go against a monocoloured deck with Nylea. So let's see this person's build. Oh, I like that pacifism. I like that Healer's Hawk. I like that Shadow Spear. I like that Gideon. This is a good hand. And I'm going first. This is just the sort of hand I want. So one Healer's Hawk. One Shadow Spear. Now all I need to do is draw an additional land. So far nothing. But then again I could drop the
weak at every opportunity.
Ah, whoops. I was going to get that vigilance. Oh well. It's indestructible now. Not had any ramp into Nylea yet. There's a Bronzedon that can blow up the Shadow Spear, which is relevant. I guess I'll do this and try and convince them to blow that up instead. Shit, I did it again. I forgot to use Gideon.
Prepare for battle.
Down comes Nalia, which means they're not blowing up anything this turn, which is good. Interesting, they didn't even attack. And there's a land, so now I don't even need to worry about that, so... I could... Okay, I'm going to actually remember to do this time. Vigilance.
Believe in your friend.
But I do think I do this.
Everything will be fine if we stand together. True friends always stand by your side.
It might be a risk. In fact, yeah, I should have done the Elspeth Conquers Death because I can't guarantee that Thrashing Brontodon will still be there. Or that the mana will be completely tapped out next time. So yeah, I took a risk there, and it's probably not going to pay off. Okay, hit a land from that. Oh, that's animated you. I do really want that Brontodon gone, though. Well, that's a pride, mate.
Friendship soothes the soul.
Yep. And I could also exile the Cavalier, so the Healer's Hawk could still swing in, or Nylia, or whatever, basically. So, yeah, that game... that game went pretty smoothly. I'm not... Obviously, I don't know what my opponent was running, but I do feel that they should have more mana ramp in those early turns, or mulligan for some early ramp, to get down the advantage of having Nylia on the board. So yeah. Well, Furrybait did its thing. It made a bunch of cats. Those cats got pretty buff, and those buff cats punched people a lot. Sometimes not being able to kill the person that they were trying to punch, though, because a bunch of twinks were getting in the way. But regardless, I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care, and I'll see you guys next time.